This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN to get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Didn't expect everybody to say that. Claim your t-shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. We're also brought to you by NYRA Bets. Get your $25 free bet for the Belmont by going to nyrabets.com/SGPN25 for $25 free bet. The Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals are here this week, and you can get all of SGPN's free picks and podcasts with the SGPN app. All right, another week talking some bets. Dom joins us for the RBC Canadian Open. New golf course, TPC Toronto. We see this event kind of switch as the years go on, and honestly, the Canadian Open, I feel like gets more fun by the year. The fields are always like middle of the pack, nothing too great, nothing too horrible, but there's some fun finishes. Obviously, Nikki T and Tommy a few years ago, but I'm in on the Canadian Open. I think it's a fun week. Bridges us into the U.S. Open. What's your thoughts on the event, and what have you taken so far from this new golf course?
Yeah, it's like you said, the event has gotten better. It used to be in a pretty bad spot in the schedule. Not that it's the best spot in the schedule right now. It doesn't draw like a crazy field, but it definitely is a lot better than it was back in the day. Looking at the course, from what I've heard, members play it at a par 72, and they'll play it this week as a par 70. You can kind of tell when you look at the scorecard. There's a couple par fours, I think 3 of them that are going to measure 500 yards or more. So seems like that's kind of the trend over the last couple weeks when we're sitting down, depending on all of these golf courses, distance heavy. So I think it's going to be the same story this week. I don't know how heavily I'm going to weigh distance. I think off the tee in general is good, but just having long irons, having some distance off the tee is going to go a long way here.
Yeah, I like that they made the two par fives that for members par fours, because just not that it's not going to change anything in terms of how they play the hole, but it'll just change, I guess, the winning score. And that's kind of what we want to see. Like, whether it's a 5, whether it's a 4, make them struggle for that concept of par, that concept of a birdie. So I think it's fun. I think it's going to be a great event. I'm thinking around 18 under wins this event. So medium scoring, not too hard, like medium to easy. Like, you can get hot with a good ball striking week. You can get hot with a good putting week. I think the entire field is large, but I think I'm going to weigh in driving distance a little bit more than you this week. The fairways are a little bit, they're pretty benign in terms of landing areas. I think you can really take advantage if you have a nice stern driving week this week. And then from there, middle iron play. But other Canadian Opens have been shorter courses, putting contests in some regards. But I think this is going to be a nice ball striking week. So let's look at the odds board. The question I'm going to lead you off with, the Rory case. What's he here to do? He loves playing national opens. He loves winning this event. Are we scared of Rory? How are we feeling about Rory this week? Because we were scared of Scotty last week, for sure.
Right. Got burned by that. I think we're definitely scared of Rory. I mean, it seems like we can't catch a break from these two. It's like one plays and the other doesn't, or the other one plays and the other one doesn't. But at the same time, they're just 5-1 or less at all of these. And I'll call this a weaker field. When you kind of go past Rory, I mean, I feel like Ludwig's the only one who's in his like range that's even close. I mean, it just drops off completely, especially from what we're looking for here. So I think it's definitely a spot where we should be scared of Rory. And if you can find some decent numbers and without Rory market, I would suggest doing so.
So you're leaning there. I think I'm leaning the opposite side this week. I'm going to take on Rory more than likely. It's Monday afternoon. A lot can change come Wednesday. But I think as of now, I'm taking on Rory. And I think that because the difference in golf he's played post-Masters to pre-Masters is pretty blatant. And I do not care what Rory does, says, or plays the rest of this year. He could do whatever he wants. He won the career Grand Slam. His year is made, in my opinion. That's the take I'm taking for Rory. Like, he clearly took some time off of golf. I think he didn't swing for 10 days after winning the Masters. And he didn't look great at the Zurich. He didn't look great at Quail Hollow. Like, the fact that, like, Ben Griffin's generational now, so this is just an example, is smoking Rory at Quail Hollow is kind of a question mark. So I'm not scared to take on Rory. I think he's here for nothing more than a tune-up heading into Oakmont. So I think I'm going to take off. But with that being said, this is very similar to Rory's last win in Canada because it was a group of 4 to 5 golfers at the top of the odds board.
Yep.
And he was 10-1. I was like, why would I not bet Rory 10-1 to just beat maybe 5 good golfers? And I didn't do it. And he ended up winning that event fairly easily. So I can see both ways, but as of now, I mean, I can't go to 4.5, I don't think. And I don't love him enough even to go to that number. So I'm going to take on Rory and go with some good numbers down the board, hopefully.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, he's definitely not playing the best. It just seems like this course, I mean, you can say it about any course, but this course just seems like if he's playing the way that we know he can, it should set up really well for him. But
all right, let's go to this next range. So I'll throw in, I think, 6 golfers from 14 to 30. 2 of them you like. Who in this? Because this is probably a popular spot where people are going to start their cards. Ludwig, Corey Connors, Shane Lowry, Bob Mack, Pendy, and Sam Burns. That is 14 to 30 to 1 on DK. You got anyone you're starting here?
My next one, and I haven't made the bet yet, but I would consider Ludwig at 14.
I think I'm with you, dude.
That's a pretty good number. Like, you could make the case that he should be 10-1 because I do think just in terms of the way that this course sets up for him, I would much rather have Ludwig here than Connors or Lowry. And I like Connors and Lowry, just not here.
Yeah, and listen, is Ludwig playing the best golf in the world right now? No. Is Ludwig winning every single week, getting in the mix? No. But the kid is, 24, 25 years old. He's still coming into his own. And on a macro level, I think we're both super high on his game. And he's going to win. He's inevitably going to win. I want to be a part of those wins. And I want to, in a weak field, in a spot where you can hit less than, the last 2 starts, the Quail Hollow and Memorial, those are big boy iron shots. You cannot mess around. It's going to be a lot more benign this week. And he kind of struggles in some of those spots with the long irons, but he had his best iron week since his win at Torrey, which was great to see. He got off to a bad start, but he figured it out towards the last 3 days. So T16 at Murrayfield Village, I'm okay with that. Gained 5 strokes, 4.5 strokes to the field. I think I'm with you on Ludwig to start my card because you could still gather some names down the board and grab Ludwig and even one other of these guys. You can fit that on a card if you really, really want to. But so talk to me about someone else in this range that you might like. You said Connors?
No, I don't think I can get to Connors or Lowry. I was saying Bobby Mack, maybe. I mean,
back to back.
I know he won this last year, obviously, but it's a decent number. I think Pendrith makes a ton of sense here. But I might be going to Keith Mitchell at 45 next.
Wow, Keith Mitchell, generational winner. Hey, you got Mav on a win when he didn't win. So
I know.
Yeah, I trust you there. You like so Shane Lowry, I want to touch on him real quick. I bet him last week at 40 to 1, I believe, because we talked about him. We talked about him last week. We were like, he gives you the same profile as Colin Morikawa. Well, I'm gonna bet Shane at double the number. He played fine. He was in the third or the last group on Saturday. I do not want to chase the putter. I've done this in my old life. I used to chase guys who striped it and just putt poorly. Shane striped it last week, putt like shit. I can just already envision myself logging onto the PGA Tour app. Shane Lowry 9 feet for birdie. Shane Lowry 8 feet for birdie. Shane Lowry 15 feet for birdie. Making none of them. I just don't want to deal with that. So, and at 22 to 1, if you're betting Shane Lowry 22 to 1 every week, you're down a lot of money. He's not a winner. I don't trust him in this spot, but will he play well? Will he hit the ball well? Yes. I'm not too concerned about that. Taylor Pendrith, T12 here T12 last week, T5 the week before that. He led the field on approach last week. And that's guys like Scotty Scheffler. That's guys like big names. He led the field on approach last week at a big boy golf course. And shout out Jeff Feinberg. Hit me up this morning and said Taylor Pendrith plays out of here a ton. He's played this course more than anyone in the field. I do think he's going to be a chalky guy and add in the pressure of winning in Canada. It's not that easy. And I don't know how much I want to bet a Taylor Pendrith at 30 to 1 because he's won at 100 to 1. I don't know how much I like that, but the boxes are connecting. It makes sense for Pendrith. He's going to play well, maybe in a different market than outright. What are your thoughts on Pendrith?
He's definitely grown on me. I think he's exceeded expectations heading into the year. I know he had a win last year, but at the same time, it's like he's definitely playing well. The approach was awesome at Memorial last week, fine at the PGA Championship too. And when we're talking about a place where we want distance, we want long irons, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I was on Pendrith for his win at the Byron. I was on Pendrith last week at Memorial. He couldn't putt as well as Shane, like Shane Larry. Lost like 4.5 strokes putting while gaining almost 10 strokes ball striking. Like he striped it last week, and that's a course where that gets rewarded, and it clearly did. I mean, a T12 is a great finish on that golf course, but I just there's reasons for me to back Pendrith. There's reasons for me to not back Pendrith because I could just see him being a popular pick this week. Guys want to bet the Canadians, and we know as this event every single year, like 2 Canadian winners ever. I might fade the Canadians, but I think I'm really 50-50 on Pendrith. I think he's a better top 10 than he is outright. All right, let's go to this next range. Sung J M 35, Harry Hall, Mac Hughes, Luke Clinton, Keith Mitchell, your guy, Nikki T, Thorbjorn Olesen, Wyndham Clark, Alex Noren, Kurt Kitayama. That's everyone from 35 to 55. Any of those names catching your
eye? Mentioned Keith, obviously. I am tempted by Kitayama, but I've lost so much on him in the each way market this year that I'm not sure I'll be able to get back there. But one guy who does catch my eye is Harry Hall. We know that he can score. We know that he can get hot with the putter. He leads the tour this year in par 4 scoring birdies or better. So with the amount of par 4s that are on the card this week, I don't know. I'm a Harry Hall guy, and I think it's a pretty good number.
I was shocked to see Harry Hall's opening number this week. He was like 35 in some spots, even 33 in some spots, and I was like, this seems like a sharp play. Like, is there money coming in on Harry Hall? I think I'm with you there. Like, last 2 starts, he gained ball striking. He may or may not have his best off the tee week of his career at the Charles Schwab. It was the best off the tee week of his career at the Charles Schwab, which will definitely work this week. So I think I'm with you on Harry Hall and Kurt K. Like, yeah, I can do it. He's gained strokes putting in 2 of his last 3 starts, which is rare for him. But like Kurt, I think I want him at like 80 plus, and he's just I don't like Kurt. I'm not a Kurt fan, so I can just. I can see myself not getting to him, but I think I like if I had to pick any.
It's a good decision to not get to him.
Yeah, and you said you lost a ton of money on him this year, so I think I'm probably out on Kurt. Anyone else in this range catch your eye, or is it mainly just those 2?
No, I would say it just is Keith and Harry Hall. We'll get to pretty big week though all around when you're talking about like Luke Clanton. We'll get to a couple other guys down the board. Quite a few guys making their PGA Tour debut. It's about that time where summer's hitting, fall swing, when people kind of mentally check out of golf. Some of the young stars in the game are finally getting on the PGA Tour, and we're going to be seeing these guys every week. What are your thoughts on Luke Clanton?
Yeah, honestly, my take on Luke Clanton was I actually think there's more pressure now than there was to get his card because everyone knew he had like make a cut to get your card. He was going to make a cut over this next year of golf. Now I think he's a professional golfer. This is like, the eyes are on him. He's no more swinging freely as an amateur. I think the pressure is here. And Adam and I kind of disagreed on Urban Sarik's pod last night on this, but I think he really is going to feel the heat and not perform as well as he has in the past. I hope I'm wrong. I'm a Clanton fan. I want Clanton to play well, but I think I'm going to be out for the foreseeable future, definitely this week on Clanton.
I think you're right because he had such high finishes, just strung them all together. Yeah. And like you said, there wasn't a whole lot of pressure. You don't expect to get a win or get your PGA Tour card as fast as he did. But now if he doesn't get say we're talking next year and he still doesn't have a win or
he has a bad season. Yeah. Like the pressure mounts up.
Now you can potentially lose your card. And then it's like, how good is he? Because I think expectations are high and the odds boards kind of show that as well.
Like as an amateur, he wasn't playing for any money. He was just swinging, and now he's playing for his livelihood. So I mean, he'll be fine. He's gonna win in his PGA Tour career, but for the next month or so, I think I'm gonna be out on Luke Clanton, especially at numbers like 40. A
Yeah.
fun little range coming up. Gonna talk to you quickly about a few SGPN partners in Edge Boost, first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposit. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And if you sign up this week, you get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free t-shirt. Underdog is going along for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Game 1 happened game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Promo code GOLF SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000. Promo code GOLF SGPN. NYRA bets. Bet the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga with NYRA bets. Sign up today using promo code SGPN25 to get a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match. All right, down the board a little bit, 60 and beyond. Chris Goddard, Gary Woodland, Alex Smalley, great golf course for him. And then some fun names. Justin Rose, Davis Riley, Max Homa, Cameron Young, Jake Knapp, Tom Kim, Sahith Theegala, Rasmus Højgaard. There's some names down here, and I'm sure you like a few of them. Who are you liking from this before we get to the triple digits range? You can go down to 89 if you like someone.
The one that rates the best for me is Thorbjorn Olsen.
Yeah, he's got a good profile.
I don't bet him too often. Maybe I should start. The number's a little bit inflated, but rightfully so. I mean, he's been making, I think, 4 straight cuts. Irons have been good. We know that he's strong off the tee, and he's shown that over the past month or so. Wyndham Clark, I mean, a year ago, this would be a fantastic number, but we're really not seeing anything. Like this is a great course for him. In 66, it's a fair number, but I wish there was a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, that is. I mean, are you talking about on Wyndham or Thorburn?
Wyndham.
I mean, the iron play is so bad that I just can't. I cannot. I went to Wyndham last week and he was like 3 over through 2. I'm like, all right. I was trying to be cute and bet him 125 to 1, and that didn't work. So I've just got to be out on Wyndham. I even know it's a good number, but like the guys like Max, the guys like Sahith. I don't even want to put Cam Young into this because Max and Sahith have proven they could win before. Max is finding some things. It's sporadic. It's good rounds and bad rounds. But the thing that I like about Max, like we saw him dart up at Quail. We saw him have a great round at the Memorial. His good rounds are great ball striking. It's not like he's just draining a million putts and like having like outlier putting rounds. Like round 1 of the Memorial, he striped it and then he just hit it like shit the next day. So that tells me the pieces are coming back together. And at 70 to 1 on a fairly benign golf course, if Max Homa's in the mix on Saturday afternoon, I trust him. I trust him to, if he gets there, he can hold it at least a little bit. So I can see myself getting to Max around this number. Sahith, maybe not. If we told you this time last year, Sahith would be 75 to 1 in this field. I know we talked about this last week, but like he's unserious. Like the ball striking is not there. He's just not. He seems a little lost, and I can see him finding too much trouble. If there's going to be some trouble. I know it's an easier golf course, but I don't know how much I can trust Sahith. And he just missed the cut. He just withdrew from the Truist. He withdrew from the PGA Championship. Clearly, he's not all the way there right now. So anyone else down here like?
Before we get into triple digits, I think Michael Thorbjornsen at 90 to 1
with you, dude.
Probably. Like, I know I mentioned him a lot, and I've bet him a lot, but this is probably the best spot and number combination that we've gotten the entire year.
Have you seen the caddy news?
Yes.
That can only be a benefit. And I was wondering what JJ was up to, and this is a good move. Because
it is
a good move. Like
for both, and I mean, you can get 90 to 1 on an each way. Probably going to bet that.
I think I'm with you. Like he played so well at Quail. I know he had a little injury, but he's playing. I want to see how he does today in this Monday Q, or he's at the U.S. Open qualifier. Because if he showed anything, I think I could be in. Good number, and we're both Thorbjornsen guys. Honestly, This is finally, for the first time in like a year and a half, 2 years, a real bettable number on Bet On. If this same field
Yeah,
was in January, Bet On will be 30-1 for literally no reason. I don't know why he's always priced that high, but I mean, he's not playing good golf. But at a golf course, if I'm saying driving distance is going to be important and you can lean on long iron play, that's what Bet On does well when he's playing well. And now, like I said, he's not playing well. Weak field, good golf course. I think it's a good buy number on Bet On.
I agree.
Yeah.
He was a lot higher. What in April, end of April,
Yeah.
early May, wasn't there like a 50 or 40 on him at the one event?
Yeah. And like he would like go off at events like at 35-1 and in the like waste management, he'd be 40-1. Genesis Hattori, he'd be like 50-60. PGA National, he's 30-1. Like it makes no sense. And now he's 80 in a weak field. Obviously, the ball he has not gained strokes on approach, a full stroke on approach since Bay Hill, which is a while back, and he needs a firm golf course to really contend. But I just think it's a good number. I really do.
There's 100 on him out there.
100? Shit, man. There's worse bets to be made than 100. Like, the dude can win in a weak field.
Yeah.
The dude he's won overseas before. Like, he won the Korea Championship in Europe, which is another weak field event, obviously, off of a pretty poor stretch of golf, an average stretch of golf. I'm down for Bet On. I think I am.
And he's a guy where you don't really need to see form. He'll just pop.
No. Yeah.
That's just kind of the player he is. So
yeah. Triple Ds.
Right.
Let's get to the triple Ds. You want to start us off?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down a little ways. Top 40s aren't out yet, but that will be my bet on this guy. And It's Danny Walker.
Danny walks.
Surprisingly scores well on par fours. Rates out better than he probably should for me. Was cut at the Charles Schwab, but before that, 4 straight, all inside the top 40. So I'm going to go with Danny Walker at what should be a decent top 40 number.
All right, you want to hear a fun fact about Danny Walker that you're going to really like? 2022 Osprey Valley Open, TPC Toronto, Danny Walker winner.
See, I should have had that.
That's a good nugget for you. It was they have 36 holes there. It was the other course, but how different could it really be? TPC Toronto, the vibes have to be immaculate for Danny Walker. He's going back to the place where he won. So that boosts his case tremendously. D-Walks. I think I've never bet. I bet D-Walks one time, I think. And I think I could do it again here. What's the number you said?
He's 175 outright.
Dude, that's fine.
Top 20s are out plus 550.
Okay. I think
I'm gonna wait on my top 40 for tomorrow. I'm not that confident. But I don't think 5-1's bad for a top 20.
No, I don't. And all right, I'm gonna go with my triple digit guy, Ricky Pooks. Ricky Pooks is Ricky Castillo. He is sneakily a really good ball striker. When he burst onto the scene, he was kind of just a fringe to average. He didn't hit the ball well. Now he's really striking. His last 2 measured starts gained about 10 strokes on approach combined, another 3 off the tee. I worry a little bit that he's a Bermuda guy because he went to Florida. He's a Latin American guy. That's why he probably used to that grass, and I don't know how much he'll fare well in Canada. But I think I'm in on Ricky Pooks at 115, 120, 100, anywhere around there. So he's gotten to the mix before. He played well at Torrey Pines. Like, I think I'm down for Ricky Castillo.
Yeah, I've heard his name a couple times, and like you said, he's one of the rookies that has showed some life. So I could definitely see that. One guy I bet during this show.
You bet it live on air.
I bet it live because I was scrolling the board, and it's still early. Gordon Sargent, 500-1.
I will give you 5,000 trillion to 1. Gordon Sargent was kicked off of his Vanderbilt team. He has not broken, I think, 75 in like a year. He has the yips. He's lost his game. Shot
Taking
80 today.
500 for a sprinkle.
Taking his. I hope he wins.
But he's 150 elsewhere.
He's 500. You said.
Yeah.
Okay. Gordon Sargent. Yeah, I think he's a YouTube golfer. I don't see him
Do you
having.
really?
Yeah, like he has the speed. He's got he used to be a stud, and he can't keep it on the planet. He's been driving it all over the place. He was
Same
the number
guy
one.
who didn't take his
What?
PGA Tour card last year and went back to school, which was
And say he won the
bullshit.
national championship his freshman year, and
Yeah.
after that he was the man, like the number one college player, the man at Vandy, and now he doesn't even play. He's not in the starting five. Like he got kicked off of the team because he's just been playing so like shit. So if you could, if I could find Gordon Sargent matchups, I will fade them. I don't know what we're gonna get, but he's making his debut. He's making his debut.
Where
One
did
more
we
guy I want to
first
go ahead.
see him? Was it the U.S. Open where he was below? Yeah, U.S. Open 2023. T39, nothing
Yeah,
special, but I remember that's
that's
when he first kind of burst on the scene. And then, yeah, last year it was right around this time he said he was going back to school.
yeah.
Didn't take his card. Speaking of taking cards, one that flew over my head was David Ford getting his card.
Yeah, he was number one PGA Tour U.
Wasn't even
He's
on my radar until I
he's
was
good.
looking through the field and saw. I was
Is
like,
he?
oh,
He's in the field this week.
yeah, this is his debut.
Oh my dude, I will bet David Ford at 200-1. He was the first round leader in Dubai, I believe, at the DP World Tour in like January, February, in like a stacked field. Shot like 63. The dude has game and he's confident. I talked to him at the Masters actually on
Really?
the Monday when I was there, and like he was just walking around. No one knew who he was, and I just like
Right.
introduced myself, and like he's oozed with confidence. I think I'm a David Ford fan. I want to get on that train now. You can
350 to 1.
let's get on the David Ford train together. Like
350 to
let's be
1.
the David. Dude, put me in for that.
Let's do it.
David Ford. I also want to ask you, did you see the Jose Luis Ballester news, the ASU kid who turned down his he turned down his PGA Tour card. No one screams more live than him. He's the guy who obviously peed in Ray's Creek at the Masters this year.
That's right.
Wore the upside down Sun Devils hat at the Masters. Like no one is a more of a live golfer
He's
than
live.
him. But like if we can find odds on Ballester going to live, like I don't care what they are. It's a lock. He's never wasn't going to live, and this all but confirms that he's going to live, and he's close with Rombo. So if you can find odds on that, put that in.
It reminds me of who was it, Chikara, who was like kind of the same thing. He was an amateur, was supposed to be the next big thing, played in a couple majors, live. And maybe Ballister's going to follow in his footsteps and wear his upside down hat.
Chikara's going to be back on tour, I think, because
Yeah.
he's on the DP World Tour. He won at the DLF Open. No, not the DLF Open, the Indian Open at DLF Country Club. One of the hardest courses in the world. By the way, sick highlights if you want to watch it. But I think he's going to be back on tour.
Next year is going to be sweet with a couple people that are coming back to the PGA Tour. I think it's going to continue to get stronger. The last 2 years have been kind of weak with younger talent coming up, but
yeah,
I think we're
I think we're in for a good year. All right, let's run back through. Let's give 3 outrights, a matchup, and a positional. Dom, start us off at the top. Is it Ludwig?
It is Ludwig.
Okay, I'm with you there then.
I don't love the middle this week, so I'm just going to go to Ludwig at 14-1. I think that's a great number. It should be lower, and this is a course that just sets up very well for him.
I think we might get a 15 or 16 too. It's only Monday. We'll see, I guess. But I think I'm going to be with you. Ludwig and then go with some bombs, or maybe just Ludwig and a bomb or two, because I really think he's going to find, like I said, by the ceiling. The kid's going to win, and I want to be a part of them. Like they're going to come when you least expect it. And if you're betting Ludwig in perpetuity, I think it's going to treat you well. So I think I'm down for Ludwig. I will give my second pick because I took you on Ludwig. All right, I'll go down to the triple digits. I'm gonna go with Castillo. Like Castillo's been proven to get into the mix on some, tougher golf courses, Valspar, Torrey Pines. Not that this is that, but the way he's hitting it right now is showing great signs for someone at his stature and his skill level. So I'm going to go with Ricky Pooks. I worry about the grass type, but Ricky Pooks is my guy.
My second one, I'm going to go to Keith Mitchell at 45-1. Rates out well for me. I think the value is not as good as I would like it to be, but I've seen enough off the tee, and the approach has been good enough for him to contend here.
All right, I love it. I will go my third and final outright. Talking about driving distance, I think it's going to be important this week. Coming off of 5 straight missed cuts, but he's been striping it off the tee. Patrick Fishburne, 200-1. He's gotten into the mix before in his PGA Tour career. I think he's seasoned enough to make it happen in one of these times, and I just think it's a really good number. Last time he played well, TPC San Antonio was a T5, another TPC design here. So I'm down for Fishburne at 200-1. I'm sure there's better numbers out there.
And my last one, I'm going to go to Michael Thorbjornsen at 90-1. One of my favorite guys to bet. Just makes a lot of sense here. Like I said, it's a really good value for a player who is getting a new caddy, like you kind of mentioned earlier, and who has the game to compete at a course like this, especially a long one. He's really good off of the tee. We know this. I think a win is coming. So I'm going to go Thorbjornsen at 90-1.
Okay, let's ride. All right, I will go with the positional. I'll start the positional market. Top 20, Isaiah Salinda, 3.5-1. Driving distance, he hasn't been playing really well, but I think this is the best course we've seen for Salinda since he nearly won in Mexico. So I wanted to get back on his horse. I'm high on his game. 3.5-1, Salinda, top 20.
All right, I will go David Ford, 7-1 on a top 20.
Dave, okay, that's crazy.
I
really like that.
To see the top 40 market once it drops, but I think 7-1 is a pretty good number on David Ford in a couple spots, DraftKings being one of them.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing matchups, so I'll do another positional. A guy that I think it's a perfect golf course for him, but I'm going to stay in the camp. He never wins on the PGA Tour. That is Alex Smalley. To finish inside the top 20 this week is plus 250. I think he's going to do that. I think he's just going to continue to have high finishes and not win. I don't think he has nearly enough dog to win a PGA Tour event. So Alex Smalley, top 20 will be my final play of the week.
And mine will be, I'll go back to Danny Walker, top 20 at plus 550. Didn't know he won here. Should have known that, but has been playing well on the par fours this year. The field does soften up a little bit as you go on. So Danny Walker, top 20.
We have a question about first-round leader leans. I think if you're on Keith, you're going to just want to play him first-round leader because if you're betting Keith first-round leader every year, you are retired by now. So I'm down for some Keith first-round leader, but outside of that, I don't really dabble in the first-round leader market. But everything that Dom and I have said about golfers that we like this week, I would say why not in the first-round leader market? Because if you like him in any market. So that leads us off. Dom, anything you want to close with?
That's all I got. Big week next week.
Huge week next week. Definitely tune in. Not sure exactly what time we will be recording. I'll be there at Pittsburgh, US Open. Thank you again, Dom, and I will catch you next week.
See ya.